Hello, good morning, good evening. My name is Susan Jiguna, aka Susie Amos. I'm streaming live from Amston Mindset Health. We are here in Massachusetts today. I have a new guest who is going to be asking questions directly from the community. I have Ken here. He's um, he's one of my friends, one of a very close family member, but he has questions directly from out there. So we're going to jump in. I'll have Ken introduce himself briefly, and then Ken, you can jump in into the questions.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. As you've heard, my name is Ken. I'm one of the committee members around, and I have a few questions that I've been able to gather from our fellow community members. And first question is, what is willpower, and why is it important for achieving success in life?
Yeah, thank you, Ken. So
Mm,
so today's focus will be on willpower. And, first of all, willpower is one of the most fundamental um, aspects of what we use on a day to day. I know willpower, we don't talk about willpower anywhere, growing up. And, we're not taught about it, but it's something that is in us, and we are created with it. And
mm,
we have it there to help us and guide us and direct us and gives us the ability to control our thoughts, our emotions, actions, and also be able to actually go in a direction that we want in order for us to pursue the goals. So sometimes, our willpower can diminish, and our willpower can actually be, established. But sometimes, it depends on our inner strength that we spoke about before, to be able to actually, harness, our willpower and strengthen our willpower. So um, willpower is considered a very crucial and important factor in achieving our success in life, right? So,
mm,
and it's one of the things that, if we are able to actually harness it, then we can be very conscious of our decision making and be very persistent, when we face challenges, and we can actually allow ourselves to have that delayed gratification. You see, can delayed
mm,
gratification, we're having a hard time with it, especially with the young population,
mm,
because of continuous use of social media, which is a good thing. Social media is good, but then when you use it continuously, it can actually reduce your gratification, whereby, you would end up needing instant gratification. So now, when you harness your willpower, you're able to have that delayed gratification. That way, you
mm,
can be able to persist, um, when to be persistent when you face challenges, and you're conscious about your decision making. So as we have gone through changes, in our community, these things are actually lost over time,
mm,
especially in our young population. So willpower helps people to stay focused, motivated, disciplined, enable them to make positive choices and follow through in their intentions. So without the willpower, we see a lot of people having difficulties, with staying off like substances, like opioids, and also other things like alcoholism. So they're not able to get themselves out of it because their willpower has been diminished. You know,
mm,
so
mm,
so this willpower phenomena, it's something that I think we ought to notice it and be aware of it, because that's when you're robbed of your willpower, you're robbed of everything. Literally, you cannot do anything. That's it.
that's good. Mm.
Yeah. So does that make sense, right?
It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. What's the next question?
My next question is,
Mm-hmm.
can you share some practical strategies or
Mm-hmm.
techniques for strengthening and harnessing one's willpower?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few techniques, or strategies that are out there, but most of the strategies come from you. But I mean, I'll give you a few of them,
Mm,
and they're all about application, right?
mm, mm,
So there are specific, ways to achieve your goals. And you, of course, you have to be, very, you know, uh, clear on what you want. But one single way that you can be able to actually figure out these phenomena, or strategies or techniques of strengthening your willpower, is by being aware of yourself. Developing self-awareness. Who are
mm,
you? you know you know why did you come into this world? What is your
mm,
purpose? Right? you know
mm,
Paying attention to your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviors, you know recognizing your patterns that underline your willpower, and identifying the triggers that that causes you to be impulsive and do or make undesirable decisions, will allow you to actually be able to take a step back, and be able to observe and strengthen, what I said before, that delayed gratification. Because remember, if you're able to be aware of your thoughts, your emotions, then you're not
mm,
going to be jumping into conclusion, right?
mm, mhm,
You're not going to be too impulsive, right?
mhm.
So you're going to actually be able to actually step back, and hence, when you're doing that, you're not only strengthening your willpower, you're also strengthening your delayed gratification, which is very important.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then,
Okay.
so one of the other ones, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the other ways that you can do that is practicing self-care. And
Okay.
in a nutshell, and when I say self-care, some people might think I have to do extra things that most people might not have money for. But what I mean by self-care is actually treating yourself with tender love and care, giving yourself with TLC.
Mm,
So, and one thing that comes from there that is very important is loving yourself unconditionally.
that's very powerful.
Yeah. So, loving yourself unconditionally, it's very important. You said it is very powerful. Tell me, why do you think so?
Definitely, you cannot give what you don't have. You cannot love other people if you cannot love yourself. I always believe that it all starts with you.
Mm-hmm.
When you take care of yourself
Mm-hmm.
the way you're supposed to, it will help you to even be productive. Your perspective about life will be different. You'll be looking at things differently. But
Mm-hmm.
when you don't care about yourself, whether physically, emotionally, or intellectually,
Yep.
you won't be productive. First of
Absolutely.
all, people who take care of themselves, who eat well, who have enough sleep, who go to the gym to exercise, it's because that they want to feel good, look good, so they take care of themselves. It all starts with you.
Absolutely. Awesome.
Mm,
Yes, you nailed it. And yeah, that love that you give yourself unconditionally, it doesn't matter how who you are and what you think, you appear in
mm,
front of other people, how you think other people perceive you, because sometimes we tend to be driven by what other people think of us. You
correct.
know, once the concept of unconditional love and a conditional self-regard is where you actually look at yourself, with kindness and
Mm,
love, and also continuously forgive yourself for actually bringing yourself down.
mm,
um, if you can continuously be able to do that, you're going to actually harness and increase and strengthen your willpower, because you'll be unstoppable if you're thinking that way. I mean, nothing will stop you. Is that
mm.
correct? Right?
That's very correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I have a few more things. I will just highlight them. building your habits, of course, having routines that are positive, will help you in general, like, as Ken mentions, you mentioned exercises, positive actions, positive mindset, um, managing your stress, whereby, if you look at something, and you're like, I'm so stressful, take a step back, do some deep breathing exercises, do some meditation, get something that is going to actually get you going, to actually change your mindset as soon as possible. Um, so that will really help you in general. And then last but not least is mindfulness, which we have spoken in depth before. It's the act of cultivating the ability to fully be present at the moment. And so that you can be able to harness your self-control and assist you from getting distracted in general. Yeah, so Ken, you can continue with the next question. I think I did dive deep into this, but I think it was important.
It was very important, and you really did a good job explaining it.
Thank you.
All right. So my third question is,
Mhm.
how does willpower affect our ability to set and achieve long-term goals?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very good question. And I think, we all have gone through this, whereby we are tested from moment to moment when we have long-term goals. And sometimes, of course, most people actually, in January, they come up with a goal to actually hit the gym. It's a long-term goal.
Mm,
Most of the time it doesn't happen, or it happens and then, it just dies off at some point, right?
mm-hmm.
So
That's true.
now, now, so yeah, so willpower does play a significant role in setting and achieving goals. And this is how, sometimes, we want to stay focused, right? And
Mm,
be disciplined, you know, but how do we even stay focused and be disciplined? We have to actually harness our willpower, because it determines, how disciplined and how long we can sustain that discipline, right?
mm, mm,
So for you to be disciplined, of course, it is necessary to stay focused, so that we can be able to get our desired outcome. Of
mm,
course, we're going to have potential setbacks and temptations, along the way. But, when you actually induce that willpower, remember what willpower is the ability to actually notice your thoughts, notice your emotions, allow them to happen, and, recognize them, go through them, so that way you can be able to harness your ability to delay the gratification. So when you allow the willpower to resist, short-term gratification, in an immediate or immediate rewards. Remember, we human beings, we want something like right here and now. You know, there's that urge, to
mm,
want something here and now. you know, uh, we will actually go for it if we have the ability to do it. But then, if you actually allow yourself to have that delayed gratification, if you allow yourself to actually, control your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, then you're going to actually be able to pursue the long-term goal and overcome the short-term temptations and obstacles.
mm,
So, the best thing to do it is, yes, you can actually be able to actually attain the long-term goals, but the best thing to do is to control and direct your thoughts and emotions and actions in order to be able to pursue that long-term goal. So, by exercising the willpower, you can be able to create habits, maintain motivation, overcome, obstacles, and ultimately increase the chances of successfully reaching out, to your long-term goal. For example, sometimes we have that long-term goal of, going to college, as students, finishing up. It takes a long time to actually finish a 5-year bachelor's degree. Sometimes you
Mm,
have distractions, like for example, you lost your job. For example, maybe you needed to move, maybe there was a flood in the house. There's anything could happen, right? But then
mm,
now, and that could, in any obstacle that comes along the way, that can actually decrease your willpower, your motivation, your ability to continue, because you'll be like, okay, just another thing happening today. you know it seems like this is karma. This is something that is, I cannot really understand. Life is not in favor of what I need to do, but that's
mm,
negative thinking. So now that's why you
absolutely.
have to be able to notice your thoughts
Mm,
and your emotions, because remember, you know what we do is, when we believe that something will not happen, it's because we have had a negative thought that we wrap around with a negative emotion that becomes a belief. And once
mm,
it becomes a belief, it gets stuck in us.
that's right.
And that's why it's very important to actually notice your thoughts, notice your emotions. That way you can be able to see how you're actually trending and which direction you're trending to. Does that make sense?
It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So we want to actually be aware of that. And I actually wanted to just briefly explain about one study that is called
Mm,
marshmallow experience,
mm,
which was conducted by Walter Mischel and his colleagues. And in this study, children were given the two choices, between eating a single marshmallow immediately, or waiting for a short term period to receive two marshmallows. So, the researchers found out that the children who were able to delay gratification and wait for the larger reward ex- uh, had a higher level of self control and later
mm,
achieved better outcomes in life in general. So, delayed gratification is a fundamental aspect of, actually, for parents, training their kids for longer success or better success in life and long-term goal. That's a seed. If you don't give
mm,
anything else to your child, give them that. You don't have to give them money or wealth. If you help them master the delayed gratification as kids, they're going to use the same concept
mm.
later in life, so that they can be able to actually achieve, and have a successful life. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It teach, by that would be a very good concept to teach your kids because most
Mm-hmm.
of our kids now they want things right away, the self gratification,
Yeah.
and they don't have the patience of waiting a little bit whereby they may get something. And I
Absolutely.
think not only kids but also mostly adults also
Mm-hmm.
are really so much into that. I usually call it the uh, microwave kind of desire. You want
Mm-hmm.
things that pop up right away. You
Yeah.
don't want things to take time, and with time, you'll get a better result or product out of it if you wait a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so you're
Absolutely.
very right.
Wow. Yeah. No, I hear you. It's a big deal in our community, both adults and kids. Our young adults as well. It's hard for
Mm,
them, and they're getting disappointed and depressed, because they're not getting that big job all at once. And that's why we have increase in the suicide,
I
in our
know.
community. you know
Mm,
it's very, very sad, because we have all this, instant gratification now. When someone does not get that instant gratification, they see themselves as less than. you know
mm,
they cannot feel good about themselves. They get depressed, they get anxious. you know they feel like the world is against them.
that's very true.
It's very, very, unfortunate that, we haven't been able to master the concept of delayed gratification, and now you can see how it goes hand in hand with willpower.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, it's a very good concept. Go ahead, Ken.
Okay. So lastly, I think my next question, you kind of got into it,
Mm-hmm.
was saying that are there any scientific studies or research that support the role of willpower in
Mm-hmm.
achieving success? I think that's the marshmallow kind of say that you gave us.
Yeah.
Let me see. And the next question is, can you provide examples of how individuals have used their willpower to overcome obstacles and achieve significant accomplishments?
Yeah, no, I mean, we do have a few of them, but we have a lot out there in the community,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Um,
mm,
we do have, I mean, a very famous person, Elon Musk,
mm,
this is a businessman, who is behind so many companies and big ones like Tesla and SpaceX, you know.
mm,
He, of course, he did. Have numerous challenges and setbacks, and um, he, of course, even financial challenges throughout his career. But he his belief in himself and his achievement and ability to actually, do or change be the change in the world, has helped him be relentless in his determination in enabling um, his goals to to get to where he wants to get. And despite the obstacles, and he has had a lot of groundbreaking achievements and advancement in his field of electric vehicles and
mm,
space exploration. So, and some of other ones are like Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, but he still
mm,
came out and fought, for against apartheid in South
mm,
Africa. So, and brought democracy in the country. I mean, we have a few other ones, that have helped us, in general. And I think, when it comes to, the kids industry, we have, the author of Harry Potter,
mm,
J.K. Rowling. He faced numerous rejections from publishers before he became successful in
mm.
publishing, Harry Potter. Right now, we watch movies out of this book,
I know.
you see. So, we don't have to stop because we've been told no. We can always, once we are told no in one, at least, we know a direction not to face. Then we
Mm,
have to actually look for alternatives, you know. And what I usually say, failures actually help us define our path better, you know. When you fail once, that's a path that you don't belong. So keep on trying, look for a
right.
different path that doesn't have those aspects of the failures that you actually got. So failure will help you harness, your path, and give you a pathway that is more clearer than before. So it's very important. I mean, I think, those people, not only they demonstrate, the impressive willpower that to overcome obstacles, but they
Mm,
actually show that, when you have an obstacle or a failure, it's not supposed to define you. It's actually supposed to strengthen your willpower, not fail you.
mm.
Yeah. All
That's very
right.
true.
So
Thank you so much. I'm glad you answered my questions very well. That was very, very informative. And I believe our listeners and viewers will be able to pick up something from that.
yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for coming.
Mm,
It's a pleasure having you in our studio.
mm,
Thank you for asking those brilliant questions, and we'll be happy to see you again and again. And we will be focusing on a similar topic next week. So anyone who has any question, please don't forget, you can DM us and messages and let us know if you have any question. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good one too.
Okay, bye.